Welcome back to the Fandamentals podcast, where we talk all things related to sports from a fan's perspective. This is an opinion-based show. We talk about what we enjoy or like as fans and all of that good stuff. And some of the opinions most people might not agree with, or some might agree with. Either way, this is our views, our opinions. It's what we like. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. We're gonna open up with right off the rip.
Yeah.
We gotta talk
What we
about.
got?
We gotta talk about it. Monday night. Gotta talk about it. So that was a game. That first of all, let me start out by saying that as a fan of the Rams, the Cardinals are a division rival. My partner here, Adrian, you are a diehard Niners fan. So for the ones that don't know, we have been friends for over 20 years. And he's been a 49er fan. I've been a Rams fan. Yes, it is a rivalry. We talk about it, and it is what it is.
Facts.
The Cardinals faced off against, that is a division rival. So the Cardinals faced off against the Cowboys. Now, as people that watch the show may know, me and Adrian both dislike the Cowboys royally. And our weekends usually are better when the Cowboys lose. So generally it's kind of challenging, because it's like, well, you want the Cardinals to lose, but you want the Cowboys to lose more. It's weird, right?
Yeah. It's not weird to me. Sounds about right. I mean, yeah, it's a division rival.
But it's the
I don't like the
Cardinals, so they wasn't
Cowboys
gonna do
more than
nothing.
division rivalry. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? As long as we keep beating them in the division, I'm good,
Yeah.
That'll keep them from going anywhere.
Yeah. They last in the
know.
division, so we ain't tripping.
Yeah,
But the Cowboys losing, they were supposed to win this game. This was supposed to be an easy win. Everybody thought this was, this is like kind of a tune-up game. They're gonna get back in rhythm with this game.
Not with that defense.
Bro,
Not with that defense.
Marvin Harrison Jr. hit him with that hezzy in the end zone. Bro. Yo, when I saw that, I was like, nah, bro. Nah, you get this. Bro. Dallas with that defense, bro. That is, man. When I saw,
boy.
yo, here's what's even more interesting. All year they had talked about Marvin Harrison Jr. and his route running, and he hadn't been very productive. He hadn't looked good this year. All of that, right? You couldn't tell when he played Dallas. He looked damn good to me.
For real. Yeah.
I mean,
he showed out.
He showed out. Dallas. It turns out that Dallas was his tune-up game. It was his game to get in rhythm. Because
at least Dallas did something. They helped. They helped out. They helped out another team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bro, here's the thing about Dallas, and I battle the continuing to. Do you feel it's hard because it's like I don't feel bad for Cowboy fans because y'all know what you're gonna get. I mean, because after the game, Jerry Jones does that. I wish I wouldn't listen to the rumors and don't listen to the fans and all of that, bro. And look, did Dallas make some trades this week? Yeah. I mean, they got Quinn Williams.
Got a couple of trades in.
Yeah.
You go. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to understand why y'all traded for somebody that was on the Bengals.
Yeah.
What about their defensive players gave you the idea that they're good? What you get?
Have you looked at their defense this year?
They worse than you.
But between the Bengals and the Cowboys, they are fighting for who's the worst defense in the league.
This is a fact.
You know, they're
This
fighting
is a
for
fact.
who is the worst defense in the league. And here's what makes it even worse. Dallas, no, I'm not gonna say Dallas, but I'm gonna say Jerry Jones, he truly believes that, like, he believed going into this season they were going to be fine on the defensive end. He thought by trading Micah Parsons, they were going to be fine.
Boy, that goes to show just how much they actually needed Michael Parsons.
Yeah. And
That literally goes to show how much they needed Michael Parsons, because they've always, for the last few years when Michael Parsons was there, they were always causing havoc in the backfield. He was getting
mhm,
a bunch of sacks. They were getting sacks, putting pressure on quarterback.
pressure. Yeah.
Now I will say that at the end of the game on Monday, they started getting a little more pressure on Brissett, but it was at that time. It was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That fourth quarter,
They
I
had a
thought that
chance.
I thought that Arizona was kind of losing momentum because
Yeah.
Dallas started clicking as far as defense and causing stops, and
Yeah.
then the offense was getting stopped.
Then the turnovers.
Yeah,
Well,
turnovers.
Dallas turnovers.
hmm
You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that.
So part of the game they at the end of the game they start to look a little bit. A lot of times when you're up by a few, I mean, we have seen the Cardinals blow a
Yeah,
big lead too. So it's
like
not
a
like
lot
this is
this year.
something that's not like, oh, shocking. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I don't know. Sometimes at the end of the game, a lot of teams take their foot off the gas, so get
Yeah.
relaxed. So things like that. But I thought Cowboys might just come back and pull it off. They started having a little momentum. When they got it down to like 24-17 or something like that. They had got it down a little bit, and I'm thinking, okay, here comes the Cowboys now. Here they about to and then they stopped.
And then it was gone.
Then Calais Campbell started racking up sacks for
Yeah.
what you call it. So
Yep.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, man.
and the thing is, you had mentioned the defense kind of had started to step up later in the game.
hmm
When you look at their defense, because I had this conversation with somebody today, and we talked about, like, the pressure, quarterbacks having too much time in the pocket
hmm
against Dallas. They have time in the pocket, so they're able to throw downfield.
Couple of
If
them
you
had quotes.
like, in your opinion, just as somebody that watches the game, not us as, like, Cowboy haters, because we are, but just,
hmm
if there was something right now that could fix Dallas on the defensive end, what would you say they need to address the most?
Ooh, I think they needed definitely their passing defense. I would say cornerbacks is looking bad.
The cornerbacks. That's what I
The
said too,
cornerbacks
man.
is looking bad. That
Yeah.
secondary is looking horrendous.
Yeah.
They're looking horrendous. I would
It's
say that's where they need to kind of get locked down, because if they can have better cornerback play that can help their passing, like their coverage, definitely. And what that happens is when you have a quarterback back there and they have no receivers open, it's a lot easier for your defensive line to get through to create havoc in the backfield. I mean, it's great. It would be great if they had a better pass rush, but I think their secondary just needs they need to get better
an
quarterback
overhaul.
play. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that's their biggest weakness to me
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. And one might say, well, if they got more pressure on quarterbacks, well, the quarterbacks would have to get the ball out earlier.
This is true.
And but here's the thing. We've watched the cornerbacks get torched right off the line. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what kind of
yeah,
pass rush you have. If you're getting beat right off the
yeah.
line, it
If you're
doesn't
getting
matter
beat off,
because that
yeah,
quarterback can
that's a
get it
fact.
out early.
Yep, that is a fact. That is a fact.
So
If you can't hold nobody, that makes it too easy for them to pick you apart.
yeah,
Plus, quarterbacks clocks in their head, a decent one anyway, goes off real quick. So they're already thinking, I need to get this out as quickly as possible. You know what
bingo.
I'm saying? Because I only have a few seconds. Generally, you only have a
Yeah.
few seconds to throw the ball.
Yeah.
So they're already thinking, okay, the first, you're going to go through your progressions, but if
Hmm.
that first man you lock on and he's open real quick, hey, I'm going to let that fly. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I'm not going
Yep.
to hold it. And yeah, Dallas's secondary is killing them right now. It's
Now,
very much killing them.
now with Washington, New York, and Philly, um, they have that tie on their record, but there is still a possibility that they could make the playoffs. Because I right now Washington, they're
They're
probably
struggling.
not going to
They're
make.
hurt, beat up.
Yeah, they're hurt, beat up. They're probably now New York has been looking better with Dart,
Yeah,
but there's still a realistic chance, a small, minute realistic chance for Dallas, and it's simply because the league this year is just so even. Like there's not I've not seen one powerhouse. Last week we just talked about Detroit being on some number one on some
yeah,
power
and
rankings,
Viking
and they
and
go out and lose to
Vikings.
Minnesota.
Yeah, Vikings did a number on them.
Yeah,
They did a number on them. But one thing I will say, Dallas has a very, 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 extremely very slim margin
very. Oh yeah,
to get in
yeah,
right now.
yeah,
Just because when you thinking about it, like if you're looking around the league right now, so what they're 3-5-1, right?
yeah.
Something like that. Three,
Yeah.
five, and one. So you really needed Monday. You
Oh,
needed that game
they
Monday.
needed it. Yeah.
So, but when you're looking at their records, you have, so if you're looking at the South, NFC South, there's Tampa Bay, there's surprising Carolina is above 500 right now. You know what I'm saying? And then you still thinking about, well, I think Atlanta still got a losing record right now. So
They do.
I think
Yeah.
Atlanta got a losing record. So you got those two teams that are ahead of the Cowboys just off of that alone. You're behind Philly. You're behind three teams in the NFC West.
Yep.
So
Right. Right there.
I ain't even got to the North, NFC North. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I just
With
stopped
Green
at
Bay and
NFC
Detroit,
West. Then you got Green Bay, Detroit, and Minnesota is
Minnesota.
what? They're ahead of the Cowboys right now.
Yeah.
So you got a long. They almost have to literally win the rest of these games in order to have a chance, a viable chance. And their schedule ain't looking that good either. I mean,
No. The
when you're
only
still dealing with your own division, you still got to go through Philly. That's going to be
they got
a,
to play
a,
New
a
York
hard,
again,
tall task. You still got to
Philly.
play New York again, and you don't know what Washington you about to get coming up. You know what I'm saying? Because you still got Washington on your schedule. Realistically, there is a margin of you being able to get into playoffs, but it's very slim. Like you literally can't
Yeah.
lose another game.
Yeah.
You lose
Because
another game, it's about to be a wrap.
even with
That's
their
how I feel.
roster, the only favorable game that they have with, with what's left on their schedule is the Raiders.
Yeah, and they played on Monday night.
Yeah. That's the only favorable game they have.
And the way they playing, they almost about on par with the Raiders as
Yeah.
far as how you're playing.
Right.
Uh, and it just depends on which Raiders they're gonna get, because
Yeah.
the Raiders still can give you. We just seen them Sunday. They played a really good game. They just
Yeah.
lost in overtime on a 2-point conversion. That was a really good game by the Raiders. They could have
Yeah.
won that one.
Yeah.
Didn't they win the week before then? Something like that. But you never know what you're gonna get out of them. But it's just that loss is bad. That was a bad loss.
That was a
That was
bad
a really
loss.
bad
That was a
loss.
loss that they definitely couldn't afford. They couldn't afford that loss. Like that loss might have
Hmm.
been the dagger.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you one more. If y'all, I'm just gonna say it like this: they don't win against the Raiders on Monday. It's closed curtains. I don't see them beating
It's
Philly
done.
already. So
Yeah.
it's
If
closed
if
curtains.
if they don't beat the Raiders, it's done.
Yeah, that's a must. That's a
Yeah.
must win.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
realistically, they just got outplayed. They definitely got outplayed Monday. They got
Yeah.
outplayed Monday,
Yeah.
big time, big time.
The Sauce Gardner trade. Indianapolis Colts trade the first pick for the 2026 and the first pick for 2027 and another pick. I think like maybe a sixth or something. I'm not sure. Um, for Sauce Gardner. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's it, just for Sauce Gardner. I saw a lot of
Good
people that
pickup to me.
said that Indianapolis Colts got finessed. The Jets hustled them. You could say they gave up a lot for Sauce Gardner. That's fine. But if you look at it from the standpoint of if you believe in Daniel Jones that much, if you believe in Taylor that much, and you look at the balance of their wide receivers, you look
Mm-hmm.
at what they're able to do in the run game,
Mm-hmm.
and how consistent Daniel Jones has kind of pretty much been this season. I mean, we know like last week they struggled a little bit, but
A little
overall,
bit's an understatement, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. Overall, on offense, this team is pretty looking pretty good from what we've seen this season, right?
They've definitely
Um,
have strong. They've had strong play all year long,
all
except for
year long,
Sunday.
right? Um, and the defense is not bad. If you feel like Sauce Gardner is the one piece you need to be competitive, I think people think this is about winning the Super Bowl now. Do they want to win a Super Bowl? Absolutely. But I think they're building on being competitive consistently over the next few years. Taylor is still young. Daniel Jones is still young. They have a young team,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um, you add Sauce Gardner to the mix. I mean, I just don't have that big of a problem with it. Like everybody does. Like I don't have a
I
problem with them trading for that.
when I seen it, I saw it as a good trade. To me personally, like Sauce Gardner is actually a pretty good cornerback. So you tighten up your defense, you don't lose anything besides some future first round picks, which people could look at and be like, that was bad. That was a bad deal. But who's to say those future first round picks are going to be worth anything?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You draft, it's a draft. So you already playing, you know what I'm saying? You kind of already playing like the possibilities of a person that you get in the draft.
Hmm.
Can they even be, let's just say you trying to get a cornerback later on in the draft. We don't know if that cornerback is going to be as good as a Sauce Gardner or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't know. You don't know what you're going to get. So you already you're going off of a potential
Yes.
versus you getting somebody that has been credible and has shown that he can play in this league. You know, you kind of in a win-win situation technically because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, if we was to keep our picks, yeah, we might hit on something later on. But let's just say they go far in the draft. I mean, they go far. Let's just say they win the Super Bowl or they go far into the playoffs. You're
Playoffs.
talking
Yeah.
about a late round pick in the first, which is a
25, 26,
yeah,
27, 28,
which
29.
when you're really thinking about it, in football, having a late pick isn't so detriment as basketball, you know what I'm
Basketball. Yeah.
saying, or any other sport like that. You know what I'm saying? So the weight ain't as bad because you got a lot bigger pools, a lot more positions that you can go for. So you can always hit on a late round pick in football. It's not always going to be the same in basketball because you only get two picks technically. But when I think about it from that standpoint, I'm like, well, that's not a bad deal. You get a person
Hmm.
that has been known to be a good corner in the league, and I'm just giving up draft picks for him.
Yeah.
So I'm not losing anybody on my current defense. I'm adding to it. We could be a problem for some years. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll worry about something down the road. Well, we might not need these first round picks because they already close to second, possibly second round picks. So, we can live with a second round pick. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
still get somebody that might be pretty good. Heck, you can even flip somebody in the draft to move up in the draft. So
Draft. Yeah.
there's still so many ways you can move. I
Hmm.
like it for him. I like it
Yeah.
for him. It makes good sense to do that. It's like why not bolster your defense when you're riding high right now?
Right.
So continue to
And
keep riding high.
and if they believe in the team like I believe they do, the value picks for the better teams usually is in between 2 and 6, the second round and the sixth round. Like because you have what you need. You have to. We got Puka Nakua in what, the fifth round?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was a late pick. He
I
was a later
mean,
pick.
So many of our players that have turned into something for the Rams have been, middle
Mm-hmm.
of the road picks.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When it comes to football, you got so many picks in so many rounds you can hit, and you're not. It's not like losing multiple picks in the same draft. You're losing one pick this draft, and you're losing another first round pick the next draft. Now, of course, if y'all tank out the rest of the season and y'all look bad, then you can be like, we could have
Yeah.
used that first round pick possibly. But like I said, you're still playing a game of we don't know what we're gonna get. You don't know if the next draft is gonna have a slew of cornerbacks or whatever you're looking for. It might be a weak draft, might be
Hmm.
a good draft. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? We don't know. So
True that. You know, when you think about, you brought up basketball having just the 2 rounds, you get 2 picks. NFL, when you think about it, there's been so many stars that have uh come in the later rounds, and so I think, you know I can't remember what her name. What's Jim Irsay's daughter? What's her name? She's now running the team. I
I
can't think of her
can't. I
name,
don't know her name.
but I think she's been around the game long enough to know. And she strikes me when I watch her writing down, taking notes, and all of that. She strikes me as a person that very much knows what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she I think she has an understanding of her moves and things like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
are very well constructed. It's very well
Agree.
constructed. She strikes me as somebody like that. We have to think about things in terms of, if you're that calculated, you're watching you're keeping up with players that are hot coming up and that are going to be in this next draft, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they probably see something. They're like, nobody's really doing it for us, where we're willing to spend the first, to where we need the first round pick, right? Like, nobody's worth that to us, right? So we'll trade and get something, and where what we see is the talent that we see is second round, third round, those
Right.
things. There's so many variables to it. We don't know. That scouting team could be like, those people that are out there scouting and stuff. They could be like, hey, this is the position that we're looking at, that we're highly looking at, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's none that are going to be first round. It's
Right.
none that are going to, there's so
Yep.
many
Yeah.
variables in it. So for me, I mean, maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago, yeah, I would think it's a crazy thing. But now with today's talent pool and just what we're able to find after the first round, it's
Mm-hmm.
not that big of a deal, in my opinion.
Nah.
You got
I,
to think about the Rams went years without one.
yeah. I mean, yeah, for real. Like because you don't have to build off of just the first round alone. We know that.
Yeah,
It's about the whole collective. You know what I'm saying? And collectively, if you could find gems in the second and third round, because second and third round are just the highly coveted picks as well in the
yeah,
NFL.
yeah,
You 1 through 3 are typically your higher valued picks. 4, you know what I'm saying? People they get good. You can get good value out of 4, 5, and 6 and 7. Of course, you're looking at those. You're like, okay, it's kind of
yeah,
almost throwaway for most teams. But
yeah.
like you said, we have seen gems come from late round picks, middle of the road picks, second round picks. You know what I'm saying? And it's just
Hmm.
like you have too much of a radius when it comes in the NFL, that the first round, you don't really need to be in the first round. You can literally find something later on. And if I can get a star player, Sauce Gardner he's not an old player who's like what, 26, 27, something like
Yeah,
that. So
I
he's
think it's
he's
26.
kind of in the middle of his prime, getting to the middle of his prime, into his prime. still a young talent. He don't have very much. He never doesn't have very many injuries. You're getting a good player, so why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why not flip it and try to see what you can get out of it? Like I said, ride high because you are high right now. Bolster your defense. Hey, it's a good. It was when you posted about it. I was like, shoot, I like that. I like that
Yeah.
what they did. That's
Yeah.
smart. That's
Yeah.
something the Cowboys should have did.
Yeah. I mean, they've got some decent things out of Michael Parsons in terms of assets.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
it's the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's the Cowboys. You should have
Who's the
just
worst
paid
team in
Michael.
the league right now?
You should have just paid Michael Parsons.
Yeah, you should have.
The
Who's
Jets
the
are
worst
the
team
worst
in
team
the
in the
league
league.
right now?
The Jets.
The Jets,
And I ain't
not
just
Cleveland.
talking record wise.
Okay,
The Jets.
just all the way around.
See, the thing about it is, Cleveland has at least a defense.
What about New Orleans?
Ooh, I forgot about New Orleans. Ooh,
Because the
it's a
Jets have
toss up
also
between them
been in a
two.
lot of games. They've
It's just a
lost
toss up
like last
between the
second
two.
games.
I would say New Orleans Saints. The Aints are the worst team in the league right now.
So
They are terrible.
Yes.
Terrible, Kenny.
So you got
In the words of
the
Charles
Saints,
Barkley.
the Jets,
The Saints, the Jets, the Raiders,
the Raiders.
the Browns. I mean, you could put the Browns on there because their offense is pedestrian, but their defense is good. Their
Yeah, I
offense
hope
is
so.
trash.
If you got Myles Garrett,
I mean, yeah.
I feel so bad
Like,
for
for
Myles
real.
Garrett.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
You sound
had
like
an
shit.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, you had an out. You was ready to
He
ride,
did.
and you stayed. So I
Yeah.
don't feel sorry for you. You got paid. So guess what?
You took the money.
Obviously, it wasn't about winning. So
You took the money.
You knew exactly. So I don't feel sorry for you. You however many million richer to be on the sorry team. You wanted to win. Guess what? You should have went on somewhere else that you knew was going to be a better fit. He could have came to San Fran. We need another defensive end. Nick Bosa's gone, so I mean, we could use you. You could have been, we couldn't have paid him. So there's that.
That was gonna say y'all wouldn't have been able to pay him. No,
Yeah,
y'all are a little bit strapped for cash.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah. It was wishful thinking. Got outside the box. My bad.
Wasn't it a huge deal to him, to win though? Didn't he talk about that?
That's what he said.
But you took the money and you knew what organization you was dealing with. What did you think was going to happen?
He took that fool's gold. Now who looking like a fool?
Yeah. Because
it just goes to show. I mean, you must not have really been there for that money. I mean, for winning.
The winning,
because
it's clearly about
there was
the winning.
nothing. There was nothing about Cleveland that said winning.
Nothing.
If anybody else has seen it, you might need to be drug tested along with them, thinking that they about to win something. Because they couldn't even. They didn't even know what their quarterback position was like. Nick Chubbs, he was gone in the offseason, so you don't have Nick Chubbs. So I mean, it's just like, and it's Cleveland. I mean,
yeah. You know who might be worse than? You know who might be worse than New Orleans?
Who's that?
Tennessee. Because all they got is Cam Ward. They don't.
Yeah, but even Tennessee has been looking better in games than the Saints.
Yeah,
I don't know, because I seen Tennessee just has I don't know. They are bad. Don't get me wrong, they're bad, but they still sometimes it look better. Like, I just watched what the Saints put on the field the last.
Yeah.
They pretty much lost the game against the Rams in the first quarter. It's like,
it was over pretty quick.
And when you talk about it, when you're thinking about it, it's like they still have pretty decent players on the Saints. You got Kamara, you know what I'm saying? You got some receivers that are out there that are pretty decent, Yeah. The defense has some good names on the defensive side of the ball, but it's ugly out there.
I remember last year.
At least with the Titans, you don't really have anybody on the Titans. So it's like, I understand them, but
yeah. I remember last year. I think it was last year or the year before, and I was like, "Hey, on paper, New Orleans is really good. Outside of quarterback, on paper, they're really good." And
Should have
I
picked
don't
up
know if I put
Shador.
a jinx on them because them boys ain't. They've been trash since I said that. Like it's been ugly trash, like bad trash, like stinky trash.
Bro, I don't know what they putting on the field. Like I said, they should have picked up Shador Sanders. At least
Yeah,
would have had a decent quarter. You at least would have had some revenue come in.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Right now, I don't
yeah.
think you got
That's the only
revenue.
reason Cleveland drafted him.
Bro, this is why I say the Saints is trash.
Jersey sales.
Listen to these nuts right here. This is
Okay,
them for this whole entire year.
okay,
Okay, week 1, they played the Cardinals. They lost 20-13. They lost to us 26-21. Okay, fairly pretty decent type of games, right?
yeah,
Lost to Seattle 44-13. Lost to the Bills 31-19. Lost to the Giants 26-14. 25-19 against the Patriots. That was a pretty close game. The Bears they lost 26-14. The Bucks 23-3. The Saints the Rams 34-10.
yeah.
They got a few games on here that are just terrible. And some of these games, if I'm not mistaken, they really wasn't that close, even though it ended up being close.
Yeah, it was those kind of games. Yeah,
Let me look at the
yeah.
Tennessee Titans. Let's see what they look like. Because I know Tennessee done had some pretty close games, and then they got blown out too. I'm sure of it. But
Let me see.
let's see what
Tennessee.
Tennessee looked like. Okay, they just lost to the Chargers 27-20. The Colts beat them 38-14. Patriots won 31-13. The Raiders 20-10. 31-22. Tennessee probably going down as the worst team. Yeah, Tennessee got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, never mind.
because
They're
if you look at
understandably bad.
yeah, because if you look at let's see, let me look at the
Let's see, they beat
Jets.
the Cardinals. Who did they win against? Just the Cardinals? Yep, just the Cardinals. Yeah, I'll take that back. Tennessee is the worst team in the league right now.
And
Yeah,
and
they're pretty
it's
bad.
it's so crazy we're saying this, but Bengals is in the discussion. Like they're not the worst, but with that defense,
Yeah, yeah.
it's hard
But
because
the
there's
only
such a
other bad part about the hard thing about the Bengals though is because they're not playing with their starting quarterback.
true that.
Their defense is trash.
We're not gonna.
They're like the opposite of the Browns. The
Yeah,
Browns offense is trash, but their defense is pretty solid.
yeah.
With the Bengals, well, let's just go ahead cut to the chase. With the Bengals, without Burrow, their offense has kind of been their offense ain't been too bad lately.
It's
It's
the
been
offense
pretty
still
good
been
since
they
Flacco.
still been
So
scoring
their
over 30
offense has
points
been good, but that defense, that is historically terrible, bro. Like
historically. They had to just all they bro
all
against
they had to do was
last.
tackle the damn man.
That's it. It was
Just
like
wrap
three
him up and
people
tackle
around
him.
him. It was like three people around him. Like three. They didn't.
I
He just
ain't
went through the
never
middle
seen that before, bro. Like broke attack and just gone.
and gone. Got out on him.
First of all, why aren't you in a zone defense? This is like the last few plays of the game. You're not even in a zone defense. Like, what is going on? Like, why aren't you trying to cover the big ball downfield? They literally had to go down there. Well, I mean, I think they had to be in field goal range or something like that. Maybe. I don't remember what it was. Either way it
I don't even
goes,
think they even either way, bro.
even if
Like
they had no
to
timeouts, tackle the man. That's all you had
exactly
to do was tackle him.
no timeouts. That was just
But if you would have played zone and tried to keep it in underneath, make them make short passes.
umbrella. Yeah, make them make the short passes, man.
But
The
the fact that y'all couldn't tackle and make one play like that, bro, 58 yards on the
yeah.
final second of
I
the game.
look. I don't blame Jamar Chase at all.
Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, all them. But Jamar
All
Chase
of
said
them.
he wasn't going to speak on it. But Chase Brown, he said something about it.
Yeah, Chase Brown said something. Now Jamar Chase said something. One thing when he was in the going through
Walking
the tunnel.
to the locker room, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
But
I
he had every right to be like that though, man. Like,
yeah.
but I wonder though, At the end of the day, on that, is that on the players or is that on the coaches? It's on the players because you should have just tackled and wrapped them up. But I
Yeah,
kind of
but
look at it from a coaching standpoint. Why did you have them boys in man coverage like that on the
I've
last play of
I've
the game?
questioned the coaching a lot
Yeah, yeah,
for
that's bad.
Cincinnati.
That's bad. That's bad coaching right there.
It
That's
is.
terrible.
It is. It is.
You can't allow that to happen.
And the thing is, this has not just been a this year thing. This was
That's
a
true.
last year thing,
That's true.
and the
You're
year
right.
before that. So for the past 3 years, your defense has been bad. You don't think that there's an issue coach wise? Like it can't be. You know what I mean? It can't be all players,
It's
especially
not.
when last year you had the league leading sack guy.
Yep.
Okay,
But you
you
decided
had
not
the
to pay
league
him.
leader in sacks last year.
Didn't they not pay him?
There's something beyond the players though, and coaching needs to be addressed. And I don't think enough people are mentioning that. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but they're not.
Yeah. It's terrible. It's terrible.
It is.
Good luck.
Coach, coaching matters. We've talked about that.
Yeah, 100, 1,000% coaching matters. It
Coaching
matters a
matters.
ton.
If you don't believe coaching matters, bro, go look at OKC. And coaching matters at every sport. Go
Hmm.
look at OKC. Them boys are,
From the
they
top.
continued where they left off at.
Yeah.
That's coaching, not a slump. They ain't even at full strength.
Yeah.
They missing
This
about
is
three
facts.
starter players,
This is facts. It's a
and
big
they
thing.
ain't went into no slump, ain't missed a beat. They like, oh, we just continuing what we did last year. SGA, oh yeah, let me just continue to be the best player in the league right now.
But just keeping a buck. Yeah, it's a lot to do with coaching. Of course, there is some culpability to the players because the coach can't go out on the field and make the tackle for you. You have to make that tackle. But putting them in a bad position ain't gonna help them neither. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it
That's
doesn't help anything, and that's
yeah.
it, to go back to the Dallas Cowboys. Part of it has been the coaching too. Some of the times I question, I'm like, yo, if you know that they can't play this zone, why are you putting them in the zone? Like they've showed all year, we're not capable of playing zone. We don't have the talent on this defense to play zone, but you keep putting them.
But you
Some
keep putting it
players
in zone.
just it's different for some. You have to
Yeah.
on. So here's the thing, and I hate to use a video game, but this is the best analogy I could use. Remember on the game where if you got a certain player, he fit this scheme, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah.
certain players that just do. There's man coverage players. There's dime guys. There's nickel guys. There's you know zone guys. There's all these different things. You have to know your personnel. That's a coaching thing.
Very much so.
That's a
Very much
coaching
so.
thing, knowing your personnel. That's part of it.
That
You
coaching
can't
101.
you can't sit here and be like, "Oh, this guy is really good in zone. We're gonna play a bunch of man to man."
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
guess
work
you
that way.
could if that guy can show that he can play a little man to man, or you can make ways. It's so many schemes and things now. It's the game
Mm-hmm.
is elevated. It's
Mm-hmm.
elevated, right? And although I hate, some of these roughing the passer things are just
Yeah, it's ridiculous, ain't
that's
it?
a whole nother that's another podcast. That's another episode. That's another story
Facts.
for another day. We've mentioned that too many times. Um, but overall the league has changed though. Schemes and stuff like that matter.
Yeah.
And you know, it, coaching
Yeah.
has to change too. I mean, look, I could be wrong, but Maybe Pete Carroll is past his time. Maybe what he's trying to do now with the Raiders ain't a good fit for what's happening. Or maybe it is. I could be wrong. Um,
That's a fact.
but sometimes I feel like sometimes coaches are their own worst enemy because they're like, I'm gonna continue to do this. This is what worked back in the day.
But it's
Bill
not working
Parcells was a
now.
product of that.
Yeah,
Bill Parcells was a product of that. When he
that's
went to
true.
go coach the Cowboys, things had changed. You are no longer coaching in New England, my guy. You are no longer coaching in that era. It was a different time.
Yeah, yeah, and that I mean it goes to a lot of coaches that go through that. Thibodeau's another one.
Thibodeau's
Like in
another
in the
one.
basketball, Thibodeau's that whole hard nose. I'm gonna run my players into the ground type. I mean, I understand the thought process. You play your best players, but you ain't got if you don't utilize your bench, you're gonna have a problem somewhere
Yeah,
down the
yeah,
road, fatigue,
yeah,
injuries, things like that. But he was a product of that. He comes from that background that we play our best players no matter what, and sometimes to their detriment, that hurts because you don't have no depth. You know what I'm saying? You can't develop people on the bench like that. They don't get no PT. Then you got like you said, some coaches, their style just doesn't fit the players that they have nowadays. They like these players nowadays, or they like to be fast, and it's kind of like if you're a coach of old school smash mouth football, you're probably outdated when it comes to the NFL now because they like to air it out every single
hmm
way. If you're just only trying to get a pocket passing quarterback, might still work, but we're in an era where quarterbacks have to have so
Gotta
much
get,
mobility or
gotta
some
get
type of
mobile.
mobility. You know, Players are actually fast. Defensive linemen are running 4.4s and 4.5s, and not to say that they weren't running things like that before, but there's more of them that you see now that becomes like the norm, just like tight ends. Back in the day, you weren't seeing tight ends running 4.5 40s and stuff like that. They were like the 4.6, 4.8s. You're
Yeah,
slow, but we block. Nowadays, it's like, yeah, we might get him to block, but I bet you this boy gonna catch it and receive the ball, and he gonna be hard to catch because he can
yeah,
run. He can outrun your linebackers, but he's still big, so he's gonna run over a couple of your cornerbacks out there. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's a league that you have to adapt to, and some of these coaches just don't adapt to it. And some of these kids, these younger players, they don't hear that same type of talk or motivation wise. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
can't motivate everybody with the same speech as what you used to back in the day. It's different motivations out there. So it's a
yeah,
lot. Coaching's a lot.
yeah, for sure. Now, you brought up Thibodeau, and it made me think about just going, switching the gears to the NBA a little bit, but it made me think about you talked about how hard he coached his players and playing them
I love
and
Tibbs
not
though.
yeah, he great coach. I love Tibbs too. And of course, last week we talked about Michael Jordan saying, you want to play every game for the fan or whatever.
Hmm.
And we were talking about like change. And yes, things have changed. The coaches are. I recently there was a soundbite on NBA radio, and it was Steve Kerr and his
Hmm.
decision to rest Curry. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm resting him. It's not even his call. I don't care what the doctors say. I'm resting him. He's tired. Yeah, I'm gonna sit him this game. Right.
Hmm.
That's where it's changed.
Yeah.
25
Yeah.
years ago, you was not finna hear a coach say, "No, I'm resting him. He's tired."
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
You
fact.
weren't.
He wasn't
You
there.
just wasn't gonna hear it.
Yeah. That
Could
wasn't
you
that
imagine
wasn't
Phil
being made.
Jackson saying that? Could you
Yeah.
imagine
Pat
Tibbs
Riley
would
or somebody like
never,
that
Pat
saying that.
Riley would never. But that's the league today.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I get the whole thing behind like when we kind of entering that load management stuff. I get the premise of it. You're preserving people for when you really, really need them, especially when they're older in age. So I get it, you know what I'm saying? But it definitely has changed now because you wouldn't have had that back in the day. If they weren't really injured, you playing. But
You
players were
playing,
like
period.
that too. If I'm not
Yeah,
really injured, what am I sitting on the bench for? Especially your star players. They were like that. It's like,
yeah,
why am I sitting out? No, play
yeah,
me. Play me right now. I don't want to sit out. Yeah.
yeah. But how do you feel about your Bulls, man?
Surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah. Shocking.
I
Shockingly
mean,
surprised.
and they can they maintain?
I don't think so. I think they're riding hot right now. See, here's the thing about it, because I think we got some young players, got people that are playing very well basketball. Shocked about
Hmm.
Josh Giddey and how he's playing. You know how I felt about him when we got that trade with him.
I know. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a Josh Giddey. I'm not on the Josh Giddey bandwagon. Not saying I hate the guy or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's a bad player. I don't think anybody in the NBA is a really straight trash player. They can all beat me in basketball. Hey.
yeah. For me,
But I wasn't really high on Josh Giddey. He's actually been playing extremely beyond what I thought. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to Josh Giddey. You're balling out.
hmm
Vucevic has been playing pretty decent ball so far. It's hard to say that that's going to be sustainable because at the beginning of the season, you're fresh leg.
hmm
Now, I need to start seeing what you're going to be doing kind of near that. Once December rolls around, y'all done got a good 20, 30-ish games in. You start seeing when people are starting to, what your conditioning is going to be looking like once Christmas
hmm
time rolls around, where y'all actually stand then. You know, that's when I'm starting to look like, okay, let me see what y'all going to do then, see how
right,
you go. Because we've seen teams ride hot early and then fizzle out. You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure. Yeah,
So it's just one of those things where I'm like in a wait and see mode. Do I think they can? I think we can be. I mean, we've been a play-in tournament team for the last 3-4 years. So my ceiling is still a binge playoff team. You know,
okay,
from the way that we're going, I think we can land that 6th seed. You know, something like
yeah,
around there. I think we're about right there right now. At least looking at it from how the league is going right now, which is it's kind of weird because
it
OKC is
is.
the only one that's undefeated. I don't think they lost just yet.
No,
The Spurs just lost their first game. We only lost one
you won.
game, maybe
Y'all
two.
only
I think
lost
one
one.
game. And some of the unsung teams that you're seeing that you didn't think that would be riding hot is riding hot right now. So it's kind of like one of those. All right, so this is starting out weird. So we got to see
Yeah,
how it's going to actually flesh out. Give me November, and then I have to see, like, give me the end of November, early December, mid December, and then I can kind of see a little more where everybody's at. But as of right now, I'm loving it. I'm shocked, but I'm loving it. I
yeah.
can't lie.
The the thing is, like, whenever I get into the NBA early, like I did this
Mm-hmm.
season, like I'm always following, but I'm really really starting to watch in December.
Mm-hmm.
And this year I've been watching from the word go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you mentioned, once teams start to settle in, people figure out their rhythm. All of a sudden, you get a team in January that turns it on, and then you get another team that was on, and all of a sudden they disappear. And this should just be disappointing me, man. Like, like one of the teams that got hot last year was the Indiana Pacers, right? All of a sudden, they was just like, you know,
Sizzling at the end of the year.
sizzling,
Yeah.
and it's fun. It's fun. But man, when you get invested in a team early, and then all of a sudden in January they kind of fizzle out because you talking, like for me, I'm a Laker guy, but with the NBA, I'm like, man, I like watching this team, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you'll enjoy watching the team, and you don't
Yeah.
want them to like fizzle out on you because all the things that you were riding with is gone,
Yeah,
right?
it's gone now. Yeah,
Yeah,
that it just kind of make you like, really?
yeah,
I thought y'all was gonna be better than this. Now I'm kind of disappointed.
right,
What is this y'all got going on out here? Yeah,
bro. The
and
West is
that's
so good.
I mean, but that's it's not even at this point.
I
It's not
know
even
it.
a surprise anymore. Like
I know it.
this
They're
has
just
been
so
the
good.
West. Like they've been like this for so many years. The West has
I know
been
it.
the
I
best
know it.
conference for so many years. So
They're
it's not
just
even at this
so
point. I'm
good.
just like it's competition. They got all the comp. They got all the comp in the West. I mean, the East is trying, but there's so much. There's so much in the West. So much depth to all their teams. To a lot of teams in the West, they're hard to pick out because they're just so good. The East, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, we still got a couple of good teams. You know, unfortunately for the Pacers, they got Halliburton's injured, so that's a bad. They
Yeah.
ain't been looking so hot without him.
And
You know,
then, what's the name?
Boston,
Miles Turner.
yeah, he's gone.
He's in
He's,
Milwaukee.
and then of course Boston, they're without Tatum, so
Tatum, yeah.
and Porzingis is gone in Atlanta, so they got you know the East is just kind of all over.
Yeah. 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 And let me see. Atlanta's not playing up to.
They're not terrible, but they're not great either.
Yeah.
I just seen them.
Orlando
I just seen
hasn't
them beat Orlando pretty good last night.
last night. And Orlando's not what I thought they would be. Not yet. They still got
Yeah,
time.
yeah. And they got Bane. He's new to the
Yeah.
squad, so sometimes you got filibusters.
And
But
Brooklyn
this is
still
a
hasn't
bad.
won a
But
game
this is
yet.
also, yeah, man. Brooklyn's cooked. Brooklyn's cooked. But then you got to just got to think about certain things as well. Like, this is the thing about trades is that it takes time for some of these trades to kind of fully, mesh into something. But like with a team like Orlando, you trade for somebody like Desmond Bain, but then you kind of give up other assets that kind of work for you. So it's kind of like you're putting yourself in the that point was like, especially when you get players that are highly coveted or binge all star ish type talent, you give up a little bit more than you probably either a should, or you're losing role players that actually fit your team very well.
Hmm.
And that's what has always been the problem with super teams is that you lose so many players that actually fit your squad, your team.
Yep.
Now you out here looking duck, trying to figure out, okay, what can we do to fix it? But then it's
Yeah.
unfixable. Teams we seen Brooklyn when they did all that stuff for KD and Kyrie, they didn't look so hot. We seen what happened to the Phoenix Suns. They got cooked once Kevin Durant came because they had shipped all their bench basically out of there.
Yeah.
So now you stuck with and that didn't work out. So it's like, why pay for all these big stars when that's not even that type of league,
Just
really?
build
You
you
know
a
what I'm
solid
saying?
team.
This ain't this ain't fantasy draft. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, just build you a solid team that you know is going to work and things will be good. But a lot of them, they want to try to win now, and all they do is throwing things together, and it doesn't mesh. Like
It
you can
does. Yeah.
almost see how some teams from the get go, you'd be like, "That's not going to work. You lost too much."
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have. There's nothing else on the
Hmm.
bench. Like you don't
Yeah.
have. That's why for me, looking at it, us trading for Luka Doncic, right?
Hmm.
Um, like that's the trades that make more sense in terms of they didn't give up a whole lot. They just gave
Hmm.
up Anthony Davis, right? So you gave up a star player for a star player, right?
Basically.
Those giving up one star player for like four players on the team, those trades that doesn't work anymore.
Hmm.
OKC is really good. Like I know we talk about SGA, but OKC is really good because they have a good team, like including off the bench.
Yeah. Yeah. They got
That was
bench
the
depth.
same. It was the same thing for like Houston was kind of that team last year. Their whole team was good. Like the whole team. It wasn't one star. Now I
That's a
know this
fact.
year they got Kevin Durant. He's a star, but that team is still there. I think all. I think all they did was add a piece, like they
Yeah,
added
that's
a
what they did.
star to a good team.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did because they didn't lose. Like most teams would lose so much when they
Yeah.
get a Kevin Durant. They didn't really lose a lot trying to get a Kevin Durant.
Mm-mm.
One thing that they did, they basically replaced who did they had? They had Green. Wasn't it? What's
Green.
his name?
Yep.
Green. So you got an
Yep.
up and coming star or up and coming young athlete, up and coming player that's young,
Yeah.
and then you still keep some of your old vets, but he's one of the assets that you got rid of. But you already had another asset in Almon Thompson that was coming up. So you
Yeah.
had, and all you did was swap out this star player from what your team was that was young. And let's just be honest, Green was inconsistent because he kind of faded away in the playoffs. So it's just like, okay, we'll
That's
replace him
and I think that
and
was
we get somebody that's,
right,
but you
the
don't lose.
deciding
That's the
factor.
smart way to do a trade. You don't
Yeah.
lose so many assets. We're still going to give up a good young player to get somebody that is great and we're giving up a little bit, but we ain't washed our whole entire bench. You know what I'm saying? We didn't wash a whole lot to get them. And that's the way it should go. If you're gonna do it, that's the right way to do it. This whole I'm gonna gut my whole entire team is crazy.
Yeah. Well, it it it's it's not helping you because a lot of the times you don't have no money to have any decent bench.
That part. That
That
part.
that's just it's just what it is,
It's
man.
just what it is. Yeah, that part.
It's just
Yeah,
what it
that's a
is.
fact.
You would think that, especially when you think about like what were we talking about earlier? Players resting nowadays. Players need their
Hmm.
rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't have no bench, no duh. You know what I mean? Like that just increases that.
They
That
about to be
just
sucking
increases it.
wind for a long time because they out there trying to
Yeah,
catch air.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. With the NBA and the players resting, let's just call it what it is, taking breaks, whatever. Let's call it what it is. Obviously, that is a recipe for disaster for the betters and the legal betting and all of that because it's you're able to it was a point where okay, if Jordan's healthy, we know he's healthy, he's playing, we got them, this is the and
Yeah.
it DraftKings, none of that existed, FanDuel, none of that existed. But obviously the whole gambling thing is a big deal. Do you think that because of the players resting, the insiders, the players on the inside, it makes them more prone to get involved with these mafias or whatever? Because now it's like, we know players rest. We know that
Hmm.
players are going to take breaks. So now they can be like, hey, such and such ain't going to play this night. It's a back to back. They're probably not going to play. It's an away game. Da 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 da.
Right.
Does that increase? Do you believe that that can increase these players getting involved in that stuff? And this might be why the FBI cracked down.
I don't think the load management or anything. I mean, it could. I think it could be a contributing factor. Yeah. But let's just be honest. I don't think that has anything to do with it. Just now we have things like social media and things like that to where, or so many different avenues and accesses to be able to do some gambling and getting information that
Mm,
that's how you end up with stuff coming out. I believe that back in the day they did a whole bunch of this stuff just as much probably. The only difference is we didn't have the media or anything that was we didn't have the access that we do now to kind of the whole we know this person's sitting out. There wasn't no DraftKings or whatever back in the day. But I'm pretty sure around the league people had inside scoops because rumors and all this stuff was always it's always existed. You know what I'm saying? Play people have always had some kind of inside scoop because you have beat writers for a specific team. You know,
true.
it still gives that inside look at okay, this person ain't playing tonight. I'm gonna go tell X, Y, and Z this person ain't playing tonight, and they can go and gamble on it some type of way. We just
Yeah,
have more avenues of sports betting, and I think that's what's kind of causing it. That there's so many more ways that you can get involved in it now that
makes sense.
it makes players just be like, well, I'm not gonna get caught because I got so many ways of doing it to where I could be anonymous. But back in the day, you didn't have all these other extra ways out there for you to be able to do certain things. So it was kind of like, I guess, easier to not be caught. Not to say that I'm pretty sure players back in those days sat out because, I mean, just like you look at in baseball with Pete Rose and betting on things and betting on himself or whatever, but still the same simple fact that you're betting. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You're utilizing that. You have an inside track on things. I'm pretty sure it's been going through all kinds of sports. It's just now it's so much more out there because players are easily to be put on front or broadcasted across the nation about, like, this is what you did or whatever.
that's
Now so
true.
many avenues to get into it. I think that the fact that there is so many ways to gamble is what most likely is influencing a lot of this. I don't think it has anything to do with load management, things like that. Now, that just plays a part because of the fact that, yeah, if you on a team or whatever, your coach says such and such and such and such is about to sit out today. Now I can go to the better any way possible with, back in those days they didn't have cell phones. Now I can put on a cell phone and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this from my cell phone, get
That's
to my
true.
little bookie or whatever and lock it in. Hey, such and such ain't playing tonight. Back in those days, you had to probably be on the phone and be like, such and such ain't playing tonight. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so you have easier access. So that's why I think most of this stuff it's just easier to get to. But I feel like it's always been going on. Just now, it's just easier to
Yeah.
get
It's
to.
not. It's not. It hasn't increased from what it was.
Yeah, yeah. We
Okay,
just know about more.
that's true
That's
too.
how I feel. That's how I
Yeah,
feel.
that's true. That's true. I think that. I think something that we. I don't want to just. It's. I think we. I think the FBI needs to look more at like referees.
Yeah,
And it's not. I just
they
think they
have a
have
bigger
to.
influence on the game.
Referees have a lot of control over games,
Huh?
man. They have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of control.
Yeah.
I
Was it
think
Steve Javy?
referees
Who was it back in the day that got caught?
back in what was
Mm,
that 95? What was that
yeah.
referee's name? Let
But
me
let's just
look.
be honest. Refs have the biggest way to influence a game. They have the biggest weight on that. I
Yeah,
mean, outside of a player like literally doing stupid things on the court to kind of cause point shaving and things like that, but refs, they literally can, okay, I'm gonna call this many fouls. I can influence the game any way that I need to.
yeah.
I can make this team win if I want to.
Let me see. Current. No, that's
There was an NBA ref that got caught with the gambling thing.
yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Scandal weighs in on latest bust. So, former NBA ref at center of gambling scandal weighs in on latest bust of coaches.
Was it Tim?
Um,
Is it Tim Donahue? Tim Donahue.
Donnie.
Donahue,
Yeah.
yeah, him. Not Steve
Um,
Javy. My bad, Steve.
um, but yeah, that's who it was. Um, the
Yeah, but
the
refs can influence it pretty much the most. I still want them to. I don't know what happened to the ref that missed that call with the Saints and Rams game in the playoffs that year. Old dude had that pass interference
look.
from the Rams.
Let me let me say something real quick.
No,
Let
no,
me say
you
this.
can't even
No, no, no,
justify it.
no, no, no. Let me speak. Let me speak. Let me say this to Saints fans. Okay. Let me say this to Saints. That call or lack thereof, I get it. I understand. If you're a Saints fan, apologies. Right. I know it doesn't matter. But I would just like to say, either way, y'all was gonna lose that game.
Please
Y'all
don't
was gonna
say
lose that game.
that.
I'm speaking directly to the Saints fans.
Oh boy,
Y'all was gonna lose that game either way. Was it a missed call? Yeah,
boy,
absolutely.
boy, you
But there
about
was
as bad
also
as
a
a New
missed
England
face
player
mask.
saying You about as bad as a New England player saying that wasn't no fumble on the tuck rule right now.
No, no. That was definitely a pass interference. Now I'm not
Oh
arguing that.
snap, bro! I ain't never seen that. I don't know how he couldn't even justify why he ain't throw the flag on that one.
No, it was a pass interference. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that at all. But also there was a missed face mask in the red zone when they got Jared Goff's face mask.
They always miss face masks. We know that. Yeah.
So I mean,
But that doesn't make it. Doesn't two wrongs don't make a right. Don't really
I
matter.
didn't say it
Yeah,
was right.
they
Didn't
missed the
say it was
face
right,
mask.
Adrian.
But
Adrian,
the
I
problem
didn't
is
say it was right.
a face mask definitely should have been called. But that right there was just like
It was just so blatant that it had. I got you.
like one on one because you were right there, and literally everybody in America
Let's just say the
saw.
referee had a bad angle. No, don't do that. Maybe he had a bad angle. Adrian, don't you do that. Maybe he had a bad angle.
Big Will, we seen all the angles that they had on the what you call it, they from behind to the side. We seen them on the sideline. There's no bad angle. That ball was so high in the air, coming down. The dude blatantly got there way before the ball even touched anybody. You couldn't even say bang bang bad angle. Yeah, he bad angle right. He must have been blind. He he was blind. He had something in his eye. Because Big Wood, there's no way we can't even go with that bad angle. There's no bad angle
I'm
on
just
that.
saying, maybe from his, maybe it was, maybe there was a glare,
It
maybe,
definitely was from his perspective. You right.
maybe, maybe.
'Cause the whole world saw that was you couldn't get away with that. I mean, it's old news now. It's just funny.
It
It's funny,
is.
but that is a
It's.
way that a ref can literally influence a game.
That's true.
We
That's
saw
a
it
fact.
last year. We saw it last year with Kansas City and the pass interference in the end zone that they ain't call. Who did they play on the last play of the game that they
Oh
was about
yeah.
to lose and they didn't
Who was
call
that?
that?
Pittsburgh.
I think so. I can't remember the team, but I think it was Pittsburgh. I believe it was, but
I
they
think it
didn't
was
call the
Pittsburgh.
pass interference in the end zone.
Yeah.
You didn't call it for them, but magically you weeks before you called it for the Kansas City.
Yeah.
It's like, come
Yeah.
on, man. Like, the refs can influence a game in so many ways, bro. So many ways. It's crazy. And I'm pretty sure they have. I mean, I know they have. Let's just be honest
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Yeah. You
We
know that.
know
Yeah,
they
for a
have.
fact that they have.
And, whether
Well.
it came out or not, we know that it's done. It happens often, quite often.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely. And I just, for me, like you remember the game last year when the Rams played Minnesota
Mm-hmm.
and the
Those
face
face
mask
masks.
thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I immediately came out and was like, that was, that was a face mask. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was a face mask. Because I don't ever want to be like, I'm sorry, I'm finna throw some shots. I don't ever want to be like a New England fan and try to justify some, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want
I
to be a
mean,
New
yeah.
England
Come
fan.
on, bro. Yeah.
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 Like I don't ever want to be that. So if the Rams should have been flagged on something or whatever, I'm gonna be like, yeah, they should have been.
That's
Yeah,
fate is real reality. It's just
yeah,
it is. It's just truth to life.
yeah. Now,
Yeah.
and with that Saints game, going back to that, in the moment, I was like, nah, that wasn't no.
So
I
you was on
mean,
the same stuff the ref was on, huh?
yeah. But then after I looked at it, I was like, kinda.
I looked
But
at that mug and I was just like,
yeah,
"Come on, son. He didn't
yeah,
get okay." I mean,
yeah.
I'm gonna be
Saints have
honest.
every right to be mad at
I'll
that.
just be honest. I didn't want the Saints to win anyway, but
Yeah, yeah.
I knew that right there was just that you. There was no way. There's no way he flag must have got stuck. That's what happened.
Eh,
He got stuck.
either way, Saints fans are probably never gonna let that go. Just
No.
like Raiders fans should never let go of the tuck roll issue. As a Rams fan, I'm not ever going to let that go because we ended up playing New England in the Super Bowl, which
Yep.
we should have been playing the Raiders.
Yep.
Um,
That's a
but
fact.
for whatever that matters, right? We should have been playing. Look, I'm not a huge conspiracy theorist person, but that was the year after the whole the Twin Towers thing,
Mm-hmm.
and the Patriots, and we were patriotic, and it was about that, and it
Yeah.
kind
I
of,
mean, yeah.
even like with the Saints and Hurricane Katrina, and they win the Super Bowl. I'm not a huge conspiracy theorist,
But you
but
throwing up some conspiracies for real. Yeah. Yeah.
but you know,
It's
there's
always a
question marks.
possibility.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
there's
mean, this
question
is
marks.
this is there's always truth to everything, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
But
mean,
it's just crazy and egregious how sometimes these refs get just missed calls. Like I could have saw that. Ray Charles could have
yeah.
saw some of these calls y'all
Well, are
missed.
they missing calls? Or are they? Because I feel like with Philly, they just choose to let Philly do this tush push. It's too much to try to
I mean, the
decipher, so
tush.
they just let it go.
Look. Let's just be honest. The tush push apparently by NFL standards and rules is legal. The
Yes,
false starting that y'all ain't calling is the
it's not
problem.
legal.
So once
That's
again, to
that's what I
me,
mean.
you
That's what I
you
mean.
you supposedly missing calls. Like if you ain't calling it and you know it should have been there, you missed it, even though you seen it. So you blatantly missed it, but you know you
That
missed the
Jalen
call.
Hurts fumble a couple weeks ago was a
Yeah,
fumble.
that
You just
was
made the choice to be like,
it was
nah, we
just
don't want to go through that.
it was a tuck rule, man.
Yeah. Something that don't even exist. We just
Yeah.
gonna make it up right now. Let's make it up right now.
I can guarantee you this is just me being a 49ers fan. Let that have been one of my 49ers quarterback. I bet you that would have been a fumble and they would have let him go and play.
Yeah,
I'd have been like,
absolutely.
I'd have been mad as hell watching the game. Like, really?
No question. No question. Heck yeah. I agree
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
It could have been any other team. Well, that probably was one of the bigger scandals for New England in terms of, but New England been in some
Deflate gate.
scandals,
You know what
bruh.
I'm saying? Deflate
Deflate
gate.
Gate and Spy Gate. New England been part of some scandals, though. They've been part of some damn scandals.
Bro, they've been like
So
they've been the cornerstone for some dang scandals in the NFL, bro. It's
yeah,
just
they
crazy.
have. Yeah, they have.
Every time you turn around, something else. And now, I mean, not lately because they ain't had they ain't had Tom
Different
Brady
regime.
and what you call it, yeah. So some of them under the tables was talking then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Robert Kraft seemed just like the type. But yeah, I could pay for that to happen.
They got away with a lot of stuff back in the. They got
Yeah.
away with a lot of fugazi stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of New England looks good this year. Drake May is playing some good football.
Yes, he is. Yes,
Yeah.
he is. I will give New England that they have been playing really good ball this season. So
Yeah.
can't
They
that
on the
hey
heels of
hats off.
Buffalo.
Yep.
Actually, they lead there. They because they beat Buffalo.
hmm
Yeah.
They top of the division.
Yeah. They are leading the
Top of their
division.
division.
So
And speaking of Buffalo, they had a
it's
good win Sunday.
a lot of good football to left out on the table. It's going to be some good races at the end of the season for who's getting
Yeah,
in, and I think what that is going to do is going to make a good product on the field all the way through. Right, week
I
18
agree.
teams are still going to have to be out there grinding. It's still going to come down to that. I'm hopeful that that's how things pan out. I love that. I
I
love that.
definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. And
Yeah,
I'm loving it too. I mean, you
yeah,
can't beat it, bro. Like just having this much parity in the NFL is great.
yeah, for sure. Um, Before we get out of here, I wanted to ask you real quick. Uh, Texas beat
hmm
a ranked school. They beat Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
Has has Arch Manning found a rhythm, or have they found a rhythm? Or
both. both things could be true. I think that they played a really good game then. Be honest with you, we'll see. They give me
It's
two
still
because
on
they
the
was,
table, right?
to be honest with you, they looked bad against Mississippi State until the second half where
Yeah,
they came back. But Mississippi State was giving them all kinds of work.
agreed.
I thought
Yeah,
the game was over when it was a 30 something to like 14 or something like that
14.
in the
Yeah,
third. And I was
yeah,
just like, oh, yeah, boy, Texas really? And
yeah,
then they ended up winning. I was like, okay. And then last week they played a really good game against Vanderbilt.
yeah.
That's probably been the best I've seen them all season was against Vanderbilt. So they played a really good game against Vanderbilt. And
I'm I'm still not sure yet though.
yeah, I'm still on the fence. I'm still on the fence. I mean, Arch Manning, he looked pretty good. He made some good decisions. The team played great defensively. So, I mean, I give it to him, but I need to see at least one or two more games like that. And this is
Yeah,
what run and it's sad because we're running to the end of the season, so you ain't got very many. But give me at least another game of that type of play, and then that'll be good. But
that'll be
that's a good
good.
win. That was
Yeah,
definitely a good win. They
definitely a
needed
good
it
one.
because it saved their season. They needed it. So
Yeah, for sure, for
you
sure.
can't lose no more. You definitely ain't gonna see the playoffs. You already
Yeah,
on the
they
outside.
they have to win out. Have to
Yeah.
win out. All right. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our episode. Adrian, I appreciate you as
Yes, sir.
always.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to the fans that jumped in and watched the show, joined the show,
L-
and
Let me give you.
follow
Y'all
us.
must have forgot before we go. Yeah,
You want to
it's
get
not even. It's not even. It just made me just want to throw it out there.
okay? Throw it
He's
out
not
there.
an old name or
Hit
anything.
me
Not a
with it.
non-big name.
Okay.
But I was watching his highlights just to reminisce on how good he really was. Y'all go watch some Penny Hardaway highlights.
Yeah, for
I was
sure.
watching. It was like this Gen Z said. This it was a YouTube video. Gen Z watches Penny Hardaway, and the dude was literally in there like, "Are you serious? How is he this smooth?" And it just made me think how all these people used to say, all these people was coming out with the whole "we're done with the '90s" movement, and Jordan and them only played plumbers, or the whole narrative about how the players this day and age are so much more skilled than what
Yeah,
they used to be. Watch Penny Hardaway come back. Let me know
yeah,
because, bruh, he was doing things that we still to this day don't see players do.
yeah,
I mean, Penny
yeah.
was Penny was
Penny was the man.
killing it.
Yeah,
So people must have forgot. I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and rewind that back. Go watch Penny Hardaway highlights. And he alone probably changed that whole "we're done with the '90s" aspect because Penny was yeah. Yeah. And also, I'm gonna throw a caveat just because both of them, I kind of put them both in that same category of if they never were injured, watch Penny, and then go watch Grant Hill.
Grant Hill. I knew you was gonna say Grant Hill because I was thinking Grant Hill.
Yeah.
Grant
So
Hill, bro.
yes,
They
both
gotta
of them.
know the early
Yes.
Detroit Piston Grant Hill
Yeah. Yeah. Problems. Problems.
problems. Yeah,
Problems. So
problems.
I
Yeah,
want I want people to go and check them both out and enjoy the highlights.
there y'all have it. Go watch Penny Hardaway. Go watch Grant Hill, and appreciate y'all. We'll see you back next week.
All right now. Peace.
All right, peace.